Good day, philosophers. I am Robin Eiser Bordo, and be uh, here I will be giving to you my repetitio on death. To this, I answer that if I mean the question that I am willing to ask is if death is both the ultimate test of love and the decisive act of human freedom. Does the meaning of a person's life depend more on what they have done or on the final orientation of their soul at death? To this, I answer that the ultimate meaning of a person's life depends less on the accumulation of external actions or achievements and more on the fundamental orientation of the soul at the moment of death, whether it is directed toward communion or toward isolation. What would to restate or to say it in a different way, what ultimately gives us meaning to a person's life is not just their deeds, but the inner orientation of and direction of their soul when they die. Throughout life, we are shaping whether we become people of love and openness or people closed in on ourselves. At death, this inner disposition becomes final, becomes final and defines who we truly are forever. One quote that would support my own claim from the text by Father Roger would be this, and I quote: the fundamental orientation of the soul towards communion or towards isolation will alone have significance. End quote. As a liturgical musician myself, there are moments, especially during funerals, when music reveals something deeper than words. I recall playing a short hymn, uh, like Kung Yung Nanaisin. The technical perfection of the song or the performance here mattered far less than the spirit in which it was offered. In these moments, I sense that music becomes an act of communion between the living and the dead, between the human soul and God. When played with sincerity and love, the music does not merely accompany the rite, it becomes a participation in that mystery alone where love endures beyond death. But I have also experienced times when I played mechanically, concerned with precision or recognition. In those cases, something essential was missing. The same notes, the same structure, but without interior charity. The act felt empty. What matters most is not merely the external act, but the interior orientation from which it flows. What does it imply? It implies that success is not measured by achievements, status, or even visible virtue alone. What truly matters is the habitual direction of the will, whether one is becoming more open to love or more enclosed to self. And then death is not merely an end, but the moment of definitive self definition. The insight that I could take away from this whole conversation is that freedom exists for the sake of love. All human freedom, gradual, imperfect, and conditioned, is ultimately ordered toward a single decisive question: will I choose communion or will I choose isolation? Death does not impose this answer, it reveals and confirms it. Today, this means that I should not wait for a dramatic moment to define who I am, Instead, I must pay attention to the small daily orientations of my heart. To ask myself, when I serve in music, do I seek to unite others to God or to elevate myself? When I encounter others, do I move toward them in charity or do I retreat into self-interest? Or when I face difficulty, do I open myself in trust or close myself in resentment? If death will reveal my final choice, then every small act of love today is already a step toward that eternal communion. So today, concretely, I choose to offer my music as prayer, not performance, to listen more attentively to others, and to act not for recognition, but for genuine charity. Because in the end, it is not the greatness of my actions, but the direction of my love that will remain. Thank you.